You spend hours falling down a YouTube rabbit hole. You're taking tons of notes. You're consuming all this amazing content. But then when you actually sit down to do the thing, you're just stuck. You feel like you're swimming in this ocean of information, but you're not actually getting any closer to shore. So what's going on there? Well, the answer is usually right here in the difference between these two approaches. On the left, you've got scattered tactics. This is the chaos, right? It's taking notes from random videos, constantly Googling for answers, and trying to piece together all these disconnected ideas. But on the right, you have a complete system. And that's a whole different ballgame. It's a step-by-step path where every piece connects, and you're not just learning what to do, you finally get the why behind it. So that's really our focus here, making that critical switch. It's about moving from being an information collector to being someone who can actually implement what they know. It's all about turning that knowledge into a real usable skill. And this quote it nails it perfectly. Look, anybody can watch a few videos and say, yeah, I get the concept. But the real power, the game changer, is being able to say, I can do the thing that gets the result. It's the difference between knowing about copywriting and being able to write copy that actually makes someone click buy. So what does a real system even look like? What's under the hood? Let's actually pull it apart and look at the anatomy of it so you can see how this kind of progressive learning is put together. You see, a good system isn't random. It has a structure, a logical flow. You start with the foundation. That's the deep psychology of why people do what they do. Only after you have that do you move to the application. This is the nuts and bolts, the headlines, the structure. And finally, you get to mastery, which is where you apply all that skill to the bigger picture of business and strategy. See how each stage builds on the one before it? It's not a buffet, it's a recipe. So let's zoom in on that first foundational layer, because honestly, this is where the biggest mental shift happens. This is about moving away from obsessing over what are the magic words to say, and instead getting a deep understanding of why do people buy in the first place? And it all starts with this idea that sounds completely wrong at first. The fundamental principle is you can't actually convince anyone of anything. The moment you try to push, what do people do? They push back. It's human nature. So if you can't push, what on earth are you supposed to do? Well, the answer is this amazing concept called self-conviction. Your job isn't to be a persuader, it's to be an architect. You create an environment, you lay out the path, you structure the information so that they connect the dots and come to the conclusion on their own. When someone convinces themselves, it's 100 times more powerful than you ever could be. And one of the most powerful tools for this is something called the void mechanism. Instead of pushing a product on someone, you just indirectly reveal the gap, the void between where they are right now and where they really want to be. That creates this natural tension, this desire to close that gap. It pulls them towards your solution instead of you having to push it on them. So this all brings us to a really important point, a moment for you to do a little self-assessment. Now that you see the two paths laid out, the scattered way and the systematic way, which one is actually right for you? The system is probably for you if you're just done with the scavenger hunt. If you're tired of trying to tape together advice from 10 different places, if you want that clear A to Z roadmap because you're serious about this and you know your time is valuable, then yeah, this is probably your lane. But hey, on the flip side, a system isn't for everyone, and that is perfectly okay. If you actually enjoy the discovery process of finding free content, or if you're really looking for that one-on-one mentorship, this probably isn't the right fit. And if you're looking for a magic button, or you need someone to hold your hand through it, well, this ain't it either. It's about knowing how you learn best. And that really brings us to the bottom line here. There's no wrong way to learn. You can absolutely get there by piecing it all together over time. The real difference isn't about what's possible, it's just about speed. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to one simple, very personal question. You can take the scenic route with all its twists and turns, or you can take the direct highway. Both can get you to the destination. The only thing you have to ask yourself is, what is your time truly worth?